and we are getting confirmation from Team Tech that they are ready. Looks like the Water Boy is now ready. We should start any second now. Every player has confirmed that we're ready. The countdown has started.
So Protoss turn once again, and yeah, it'll be very interesting to see what race he randoms. Really going to set the pace. I mean, this is a map where Zerg is probably not going to be very good.
And we're just waiting to see what race indeed gets randomed. Bring it up here for you. And it is Zerg! Ooh, I am excited. I am so excited. A little bit wet. Alright, in the top we have GL Richie as the red Protoss representing Team Techno Vikings. And AI Pro Clan in the top is the blue Terran. In the bottom we have Hack ProTech representing Team ProTech, Team Tech, Team something.
Yeah, Team ProTech.
Team ProTech, and his partner, his teammate Power as the green Zerg.
And we, it's a 2v2, so of course it wouldn't be a 2v2 if we didn't have a probe coming out immediately, but he's actually not cheesing here. He's building the pylon in his main base, so he just wants to scout, and he's gonna be like, okay, Power is Zerg, so he knows what's up, and he's probably, I guess, just going to chill around and see, the pool timings. That's quite interesting. I thought, I thought he'd be building some proxy gateways, but no, he built that pylon in his main.
Yeah, he wants to see that random race as soon as he can. He is seeing Zerg now with that early scout. If Team ProTech was planning on doing some kind of crazy double Zerg strategy, they would be able to react in time to it, but they can see that looks like they're both going pretty standard builds, not even seeing an early pull from either of them. So a fairly economical game. Maybe we might see a macro game, heaven forbid.
It's possible. It's possible. We also have a Forge coming up now, so I'm really curious what exactly he intends to do with that. We have one drone heading out. Looks like Power wanted to go hatch first here, but the probe kind of following that, and he's actually just going to build that hatchery beside the destructible rocks.
Oh my gosh.
Why not? There you go.
This is exactly what I mean by this map not being good for Zerg. I feel like he ran out here expecting to expand into Skull. He's like, shit, there's rocks here. What am I going to do now?
Left those there, man.
Yeah. And even if you look at the one inside of their base, or actually it's not even inside their base, but just through the... what am I looking at? I could have sworn this base had 2 destructible rocks. Well, I guess not. You know what, just ignore me, I don't know what I'm talking about. But Power is throwing down that hatchery next to those gold minerals. And he has drones, his drone rally point next to those minerals, so I guess he does plan on mining a little bit from it.
I mean, you might as well. I guess it's like a tiny bit longer of a distance, but I think the gold patch will pay off. Meanwhile, the other team, I mean, he made that forge, he's making one cannon and then getting his gateway. Meanwhile, his ally here actually teching up to factory, still just on 1 gas though, so still somewhat ambiguous what these two guys will be doing. I'm really interested in this forge. I guess, I don't know, they were just really worried about some kind of double early pool, I guess.
Yeah, they look to be playing very cautiously, and we're kind of noticing a trend here with the Terran player. He is actually getting a factory. I have a feeling he's going to be swapping that onto the Tech Lab for some Blue Flame Hellions. Yep, yeah. That's got to be it. I don't see him doing anything else. So if you're playing up against Zerg, just make Hellions and you're good.
Yo, check it out, man. Check it out. We've got an assimilator coming up in the Terran base. That's pretty sick right there. You're saving little... I think you saved like 25 minerals by having that SCV not build it.
Yeah, that's a good call. Once again, doing something similar to the feeding from Destiny to Minigun. Just help out your teammate as much as you can. Actually, we're seeing a tank from that factory, not a Hellion. I'm a bit surprised by that. I don't know if tanks are the best route to go against Zerg.
Yeah, it seems to me what they're gonna do is just turtle up hard and then try to do whatever is good against 2 Zergs. We've actually got a Stargate as well, so these guys are just going absolutely nuts. And I also have to point out this one Queen worked away on the destructible rocks, taking about 60 hit points off of these so far.
Those destructible rocks with 3 armors. The Queen with 4 damage per attack. So she's actually doing 2 damage per round of attacks, because she has 2 little stabbies every time. You can see the hit points there. It's like learning to count backwards from 2000. It's going to take a long time. And I guess once it goes down, he'll put another hatchery there.
Yeah, it'll be a little while. No big deal. Meanwhile, we do also have a command center coming up from AI Pro Clans, so I'm guessing he's just going to keep massing up tanks, and they'll kind of take that Zilnaga Watchtower, he'll take the gold, and they'll just kind of slowly push out and just try and play a war of attrition. And I'm really interested in these two Roach Warrens, if these two guys are going to go for any kind of bust, or if that's just more of a safety Roach Warren right there.
Yeah, we're not seeing any roaches yet. It looks like those lings are helping bust down those rocks. And you know what? I just realized that the color layout is a bit off, so let me get that changed for you guys so there's no more confusion here. And that first Void Ray is out, moving across the map. It was able to pick off that Overlord.
Yeah, I actually really like that Void Ray. It's kind of like just playing a PvZ. I mean, you get out your Void Ray, you go around the map, try and clean up what you can. Of course, these two guys are going to have a pretty ridiculous creep spread, so you're not really going to be able to really do any damage to the economy, but he'll be able to pop in here, do a bit of scouting. He gets to see that lair coming up, so he's going to know his opponent's attacking, know not to expect any kind of early bust, and ooh, taking a lot of hits on that Void Ray, but does escape, and now he can kind of just prowl around for any wayward Overlords. He's actually got 2 Stargates up, so he's actually following this up with Mass Phoenix. He's not even getting Warp Gate. He's got 2 gateways, but he doesn't need Warp Gate. He's just making Phoenixes.
And there we have it. The colors have been updated. And, you know, they're committing a lot of defenses to these side destructible rocks. A tank, a bunker with a Marine in it, 2 Zealots. They got a Marine down there. That's kind of strange. I don't know about that. Looks like they are working on busting down those rocks for that command center to land. And there goes that extra hatchery from Power. So maybe he knows better than we do. Maybe long distance mining from that gold is maybe about the same as just normal mining from normal mineral patches. Up go a couple Zerglings. Going to do some scouting, see if they can find an expansion of any sort. And they're going to get blown up by that hero siege tank, taking down 2 of them.
Yeah, meanwhile, there was actually a cancel. The Protoss player was trying to expand to the leftmost base, but, you know, some Lings found it, and, of course, the Phoenix just can't pick it up. He's going to go ahead and try and re-expand here, but I think he's definitely going to need to get a cannon or 2 pretty soon. We actually have 2 additional factories coming out, as well as a 3rd command center. So, we certainly got a macro game, and these Phoenix are also going to be doing some pretty annoying harassment here, actually picking off a lot of these queens, doing some very nice damage.
Yeah, so obnoxious losing those queens. Instantly reproducing 2 more queens. Look at all those queens. 5 of them. Where did they come from? Looks like a couple of them are powers. 4 of them are powers, or yeah, 4 are powers and 3 is our Protect. So that creep spread is insane. When you've got 2 Zerg players, why the heck not just try to get that creep all the way out there and just rely on your queens for anti-air. That's absolutely the only anti-air that they even have right now is 7 queens.
Yeah, it seems to be doing the trick, though. I mean, he is up at 54 drones as well as 42 drones, whereas the opposing team is actually only at 35 and 40 workers. So their economy definitely better, especially they've had that gold base up longer, they've had the additional auxiliary expansion up longer, whereas once again that Nexus is only just, you know, on its way to being done. It's almost done, though.
Yeah, it's getting there. The Harvester count is still pretty low. Even if he does do a transfer, that base isn't going to kick in for quite a while. Now the Phoenix doing some more harassment from GL Richie, going to pick off 1 more queen. The queen looks like he might have actually lost a Phoenix. And still, the only anti-air they have is queens, and actually they have a couple Infestors now, so they're reaching that the OP units in team games. Is really anything with splash damage, especially the Infestors, which are able to you know, take out those Phoenix, infest Terran, those tanks, really do anything you need them to. Extremely versatile.
Yeah, the Phoenix are going to need to be a lot more careful now. He saw the Infestors, so he knows, okay, I gotta kind of lay off. I can't just fly around willy-nilly. And look at this, the Void Ray actually going to pop into the easternmost expansion here from Power. Might be able to force a cancel, but a whole bunch of Infestors heading over to shoot that away. And yeah, these guys are actually just cutting the map completely in half.
Yeah, if we see every single base mined out in a 2v2, then I have seen everything. I don't expect that to happen. I don't know what the plan is for the Zerg endgame. They're going to have to get that T3 eventually.
Yeah.
Oh, and we actually have a Nidus coming up for hacked Protech here. Where he's going to place that, I'm not sure. He does have an Overlord from Power over on the right side of the map, if you see that. Looks like it's scooting up into the main of AI Pro Clan, so we should see a Nidus, and you know, the blue and red team, Team Team Techno Vikings.
Vikings.
They are overextended. They are extended far out to the map, so I think this Nidus is a good idea.
Well, not when it's right in range of a siege tank. It actually got shelled and died immediately right there. Maybe a bit further up he'll be able to get it in. And nope, that's actually still in range of the siege tank.
You know, I don't think there's any uncovered location there in that base, so it was a good idea, but it didn't really work out. Not really because Team ProTech was expecting it, just because they just happened to have all the units in the right place. Now he's throwing up those turrets.
Yeah, a ton of turrets, and now it just comes down to the Zergs. It's like, ooh, actually they're moving a ton of stuff across the map. This is like a stupid amount of Zerg, like 121 Zergles, and they're just gonna go for a bust. They're just saying, whatever, let's go.
Phoenix! Wow! Lifting up all the roaches, not lifting up the Infestors. The Infestors aren't even getting to do anything. There's just so many lings, so many roaches, and all those Infestors at almost full health, now they're being lifted up. More forces being warped in for the Protoss, but the Zerg are looking like they might clean this up. They might, actually, you know what, scratch that. More Zealots coming out against the Hellions, so looks like Team Techno Vikings.
Though, not getting lifted, and just nearly 60 hit points on that sucker.
Yeah, all those Infestors going down. Zergling's cleaning up that gold base. He was able to lift off the command center. Oh, the command center has 10 life left. It needs repaired. Oh, it's gonna go down.
Boom.
Yep. Zergling's still running rampant. Production tab showing more roaches, more Zergling upgrades, and not a whole lot from the Terran. Just 2 Hellions and 2 tanks. They're gonna be hard pressed to pick off this many Zerglings. He's gonna have to start lifting them up with Phoenix.
I mean, I don't know what they're going to do. They're just kind of doomed here. So many lings, these Phoenix are just sitting here, but they will run out of energy, and I think both the Nexus and GG actually coming out from Team Techno Vikings there.
Techno Vikings getting dominated by a double Zerg. It's not something you see every day.
Yeah, that was just, wow, you know, it was looking like, wow, these guys are turtled up super good, they've got a nice siege tank line, but when it came down to it, if you flood in 2 players worth of lings and roaches and a couple infestors there, it's just too much. It's that old, just go kill them kind of theory.
Yeah, and on the unit count, one of the Zerg players was going Ling Infestor, the other was focusing all of his gas on roaches, and so they synergized real well. They still had the roaches in the army, but the player who was getting the Infestors didn't have to spend gas on those roaches, so he had about 115 Lings at the time of the attack. I didn't catch the Infestor count, it looked like maybe 8 or so, and his ally had about 45 roaches, and they just trounced all over those tanks. Despite the nice tank spread, it just wasn't enough. Tanks not extremely effective against Zerglings, especially when the Zerglings have 1 armor. I'm not sure if those tanks had an attack or not, but it's a pretty one-sided attack there.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing where it just goes to show you really, if you want to do that kind of play, I think you need like a Sim City with it too. You got to be building your depots out in front around the gold base. You got to be, you know, even putting some bunkers up perhaps. Sensor towers, of course, you know, very good. And I think that Nidus actually helped quite a bit in terms of, hey, let's focus on our main base, throwing down all these turrets, moving a couple of units in that position, and then just a massive bust. Kind of did the trick, easy peasy.
Yep, decoy Nidus. It's like a, as Destiny likes to call it, a retard magnet. Just send in an Overlord, send in some kind of unit to distract them. Maybe they'll bring a couple units to take it out, and then just move in the front. But the countdown has started. Team ProTech is up 1-0. The map is scorched something. I forget.
It's Haven.
I am so terrible with maps. And here we go.